better than that 3-8 to beat the preseason favorite in the Sun Belt. I mean, did it feel finally good to put it together like you guys did?
It really did, and I don't think it was even the fact that it was UALR. It was the fact that we played really well, and defensively, yes. At times, offense wasn't what it could have been, but I think our team stayed so composed. Like, I'm really proud of us right now. That was awesome. It's a great feeling right now.
Ashley, you put up 10 points at a real efficient night, going 4 for 7. How was your game tonight? What can you tell us about it?
In the beginning, my players gave me the ball, my teammates gave me the ball early, so I had the opportunity to score inside, not taking quick shots and get my rhythm going. And I got into foul trouble early, so I had to sit down the rest of the first half. But on the bench, I was trying to get my team going defensively, because I know it can be a low-scoring game as long as we keep them to a minimum of points, that we can still have the momentum going into the second half. So I felt like we carried that over and we came out with the win.
Jacqueline, there's so many times when a coach will say that, when the offense isn't working, the defense is next to fault. Just because you guys, you want to knock your shots down, you want to have a good offensive success. But tonight, when the offense just wasn't there, what allowed you guys to keep your heads up on the defensive end to kind of push through it? And what was the game plan against this team?
Our game plan was to contain them, and I think we did a really, really good job of that. I think it all started from shoot around today. We came out with an intensity that we never had before, and you could tell it was going to be a good day. So we contained, we did what we were supposed to do, and we won. That's what happens when you do what you're supposed to do.
Is it because of conference play? Did you guys have a feeling going into this game?
I think it was a different feeling that we can't say, okay, we're waiting until conference. Like, it's conference, so we need to show up and play.
I feel like conference play, you start off with a clean slate. No matter the preseason, no matter our record, conference play starts, we're 0-0. So start off this game, especially being home, especially getting the game this momentum. Our next game is home as well. We wanted to start off strong and start off with a good win, and we got this tonight.
And Ashley, you guys, let's see, when you were a sophomore, Southland Conference, junior, WAC, now you're in the Sun Belt. I mean, is it tough to get up for these teams that, that you never played? You don't know anything about the Trojans. You guys didn't know anything about, I guess it was San Jose State when you played them the first time. Is it tough to get up for these games, or is it just like, okay, this is our conference, we need to do work right now?
I mean, it doesn't really matter what team I'm playing against, to be honest with you. I don't care if I went in the Conference USA or if I'm in the it doesn't matter which conference I'm in. It doesn't matter which team I'm playing against. I gotta wake up that day and come out and play. It doesn't matter about what's behind my jersey. It depends on what's in front of my jersey, and I gotta play for Texas State no matter what.
Would y'all say this was the most satisfying win for y'all this season so far? I mean, it being conference and everything like that.
Yeah, so far.
So, yeah.
But I'm never satisfied. I'm not satisfied. I want this next win. Arkansas State, look out for us because we're coming for. I'm not satisfied. I want more wins.
And one thing about, you had the non-conference schedule that was really tough for you guys. Do you think that kind of prepared you guys to go up against a team like Arkansas Little Rock, who was the preseason favorite winners of the Sun Belt last year, kind of prepare yourself for what they might throw at you guys?
At the time, we knew we had a hard preseason, but now that we hit this game and we played this, yes, that really prepared us for this game in our conference. That has absolutely prepared us to play. Because, I mean, after playing all those hard games and then coming to this, it was it's coming together now because we did so much work in the preseason.
Coach Z, big win tonight. Obviously, conference opener. What are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, I think the thing that I find most exciting from this game is that, honestly, neither team played very well. There are times where I felt that things weren't in flow for either team, but our team just found a way. And, I think most importantly what we're able to do is have a lead, hit a little bit of adversity in the second half, and then keep that lead and close out a game. Our free throws ended up being what I was expecting. I was hoping we'd hit a few more, but we closed those free throws at the end that could plant that seed of doubt in a team like Little Rock's head, because this is a team that they fight to the end. I mean, it's been ingrained for years, 20-plus win seasons. And so I knew if we could find a way to plant a seed of doubt, and for us that ended up being at the free throw line towards the end and hitting those free throws, that makes it tougher on kids. I mean, it does. When you know that team, who generally looking statistically has been struggling at the free throw line, starts nailing those threes when it truly matters at the end of the game to close a game, I think that hurts. And that bit of it kind of helped us, I think, towards the end. You could see it. I'm sure you saw it out there on the basketball court. But I think overall the defensive effort was phenomenal, considering that we've never played a full game basically going all zone. To get 21 turnovers out of a team like Little Rock that returned everyone, I think that's huge. I think that's huge. It speaks volumes for what Coach Sue's been able to do. This is Coach Dorsey's scout. Our players' focus. I think they found it, and I'm really excited about what the future holds, regardless of the personnel. We have some personnel hiccups right now.
Do you think you found something with the zone? Maybe more so working towards that because you guys played so well with it tonight.
I think we did. I think specifically if you look to the way this, and the players don't know as much about the conference as we do. We're definitely not going to be as athletic, but we're going to be a little bit bigger. And I think that's going to hopefully play into some of what we're going to need to do. So they're going to need to be able to understand the slides and how to slide versus personnel out of the zone. And they did. They worked really hard, to be honest with you, on understanding the slides. And we truly broke down the zone by specific slides for specific players as far as what's going to be happening in this scenario. And they understood, they comprehended. And it's always nice when you're not in school as well. I think it's a little bit easier for student athletes to try to absorb scouts.
You guys were out rebounded. You hit 1 for 10 on your 3-pointer, yet you're still able to come out with this victory. Was it a defensive standpoint, or was it those free throws that you were talking about? What do you really think stood out that
I think it really had more to do with scheme. Because we played zone and they start out strong side quite a bit on that right side. We have Aaron Peoples on that side. That kid's a pest. Aaron Peoples is long, she's pestering, she frustrates you, and they constantly initiated to that right side. So already I think you can throw that into play. Secondly, although Jacqueline Jeffcoat's numbers are low, this is probably one of her best boxing out. I mean, that's not really a stat, a box out, but just actually boxing out for Jeffcoat, that was huge. Where it allowed some other players to get rebounds. Didn't end up coming up with all of them that we wanted to, but the kids that she boxed out were key kids, I think. And the kids that Clea Mays boxed out and those rebounds she came up with, I think were key kids. So although we lost the rebounding battle, I'm very curious to go back on film because I felt like the effort of who we boxed out was really critical out of the zone. Because I was very nervous. I wasn't nervous running the zone. I was nervous our ability to be able to rebound and box out of the zone, knowing they've got great guards that rebound.
Do you think running that zone with Erin out there, because her size as a guard, as a 6'1", 6 foot guard. I mean, you used her in the post last year because you had to. I mean, this year you're able to kind of use her as a stretch guard. Does it kind of worry the other team a little bit? It seemed like it really put some havoc on, I guess, the forward and goal. I mean, I know Jackson went 5 for 6, but the others went 1 for 16.
I think her length would bother anyone defensively, and she comes up with a lot of steals, a lot of deflections. And I think the mismatch size that we have out of her as well. You need to people need to make decisions on how they're going to guard her. Because this is a more athletic, smaller conference, there are times where, which you saw, we were able to post up Erin quite a bit and she can score. And we'll be able to do the same when Kate gets back as well, which we rolled out last game as well. When both these kids can post up on the offensive end as well as face up and score. And of course the length of Erin and her athleticism is just really fun. I think it's just fun for fans to see.
What do you need to see out of your offense? Because this was just another game where it seemed like you guys had hit those spurts, those 7-minute spurts where, I mean, I think tonight you guys combined for 2 points,
Correct.
So we can find.
I think one of the things we need to do is continue to stay patient in what we do. And once we get, we need consistency, to be honest with you. That's really what we need. We need some consistency, whether it be staying patient in what we're running or players truly understanding what's available as far as what they're doing scheme-wise. I think once they have an opportunity to see that and they get comfortable with each other in the offense, it'll start to flow and they can make plays out of it versus Coach E said, run this offense, I go screen here, I roll here, where it's a little bit more robotic to where they can play out of it. And we have very few kids right now on this team because they're so young that can just make plays out of the offense just yet. So I think reps, to be honest, it's going to be reps in time.
You weren't playing with a full roster tonight, you had some injuries, right? Is that right?
We had a player, Corey Moyer, who's continuously getting better and better and better. She's a 4 player who can really stretch out defenses and rebound. Her hand got injured during practice today, and then in practice yesterday, we had Caitlin Waller went down with an ankle. Okay. And then, of course, we have Kaylin Martin, who got injured at the end of this game here. So, and I don't know her.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, you guys had to be really happy with the way that your team came out today in the first conference game after what happened in the preseason. Did you see that the pre-game kind of drive mentality, hustle out of them that like they were talking about?
We did, and you know what? It started since we got back from the break. The best thing I can tell you is this: as a coach, we went 2 days on the 26th. The kids were ready. We didn't do any extra conditioning. You didn't have to do any, hooping and hollering to get them going. They were focused. They understood the vision, and they've been really and truly like machines. They've been really good about it. We're able to give them a little bit of break, got a day off, boom, bounce back, and they were fresh, ready to go. And you're always curious to see as your team matures, you give them a day off, are they still going to be loose? This group was really ready. I think now that they've tasted it, my hope is that this, will continue, and we can continue to get better because we're still not playing our best basketball. I think we're playing decent. I don't even think we're good yet. And I think, the closer we get to being good, then they're really going to understand it, and then the team can truly take over.
They were talking about a clean slate with confidence play. Is that something you really been emphasizing in practice?
I think most definitely. I think for a lot of different reasons. We took the last 4 games, took a look at the statistics. If you look at that, where we're split, we were 2-2. If you look statistically at each young woman and kind of how she's done, they clearly saw that they were getting better. I think it's really tough when you go through a preseason like we did, where you've been banged up quite a bit to understand, well, are we getting any better? And so by taking those last 4 games, taking a look statistically, seeing where they were, how they are improving, I think that spoke volumes. It spoke volumes for us, be able to get them kind of focused. And it is. Conference play, mid-majors, it is. It's a clean slate. Any of you can go. For goodness sakes, there's some teams in women's basketball, 2 teams last year, who were in the middle of the pack that went to the NCAA tournament. So,
do you think a strength of schedule had a lot to do with your slow start for y'all, playing some heavy teams like UT, stuff like that?
a combination of things. 8 new faces is a lot.
Sure.
Some transfers, JUCO transfer, 2, Division I transfers. One was just a sophomore, for goodness sakes. Jeffcoat's a junior. Then 5 freshmen. I think it's a combination of things. So the maturity is going to slowly come, but as it comes, I'm really excited. I think they're great classes at this time.
You talked about getting the taste, of the winning or whatever, but today, getting the taste again, a great taste against a team that was preseason favorite, do you think that's really going to help your team's confidence going forward?
I think most definitely. It was very nice to hear Jeffcoat earlier to see what her thinking was regarding the preseason schedule and how that played into the athlete's mind, kind of where she was at, and she really felt that it helped them. Now, I as a coach feel like it's helped us in a lot of different areas. It helped expose us, so I had an understanding of where we need to get better. But I think it also gave them confidence to understand, hey, we can play with these girls, and we can play with these girls when we're a little bit out of whack, and we've got some injuries, And I think long term, that's going to be really exciting that they have a true understanding that we can compete. Because there's a seeded out when you start out early, getting lumped up like that. And for sure, anytime, regardless of what the statistics look like, Bobcats win in this case, and that's exciting.